Welcome dear student. You are familiar with different types of microbes which are all around us, right? And some of them are useful to human beings and some of them are not useful. They are harmful to us and they can cause disease to human beings or ourselves. Okay, so in this video we are going to learn about different types of harmful microorganisms and their characteristic, and this video is of class 9. Let's start the video. Yeah, so first type of a harmful microorganism is fungi. So these are different types of fungi, and you can observe these type of fungi on our daily belongings like our shoes, leather shoes and leather purse, and many different types of leather items. These fungi can be grown. Yeah, so fungi, microscopic spores of fungi are present in the air. Now that means microscopic means these are very minute spores. Spores means these are seed like cells that help the bacteria to reproduce or to grow. Okay, so these minute or very smaller microscopic fungi are present in the air, and if there is sufficient moisture, spores germinate on the cotton fabric, gunny bags, leather, wooden item, etc. That means wooden items, etc. That means these microscopic spores of fungi are grow if there is sufficient moisture present in the air. These are grow in all these items like leather bags, gunny bags, and wooden items, etc. Right? And the fungal hyphae, now hyphae means a fibers of a fungus penetrate deep into the material to obtain nutrition and to reproduce. That means this is a structure of a basic fungi. You can observe the hyphae. Okay, the fibers of a fungus, these are the hyphae. So these hyphae are penetrate or enter into the material like cotton fiber or gunny bags, leather or wood items. Okay, so they penetrate or they enter into these material to just to obtain the nutrition, that means to obtain a food, and they grow or they reproduce. And as a result this causes the material to wear and become weak. As a result, gunny bags, leather items like shoes, purses, our belts, etc., on which fungi have grown do not last long. That means the wooden items also get spoiled. That means all the items on which the fungi are grown, they become weak and they get damaged. Yeah, so various species of fungi grow on food items also like pickles, murabbas, jam, sauce, chutney, etc. So these fungi are not grown only on the leather bags or shoes or any types of wooden items, but these fungi also grow on our food items also. And right, and they also get the food items also get spoiled, and they use the nutrients in these food items, right? So fungi use the nutrients in these food items for growth and reproduction. Just their fungal hyphae penetrate or enter into the food items, and what happens, they use their nutritions which are present in the food item, and they grow or they reproduce themselves. And during this activity, that means during the growth of a fungi release mycotoxins, which is a very poisonous chemical into the food, and thus food becomes poisonous, and hence the food on which the fungi have grown cannot be eaten because these get spoiled, the food items. Yeah, so this is another type of a very harmful bacteria, very harmful microorganism, that is a clostridium. And on the screen you can observe the cylindrical shape or rod shape clostridium bacteria. Yeah, so sometimes cases of food poisoning occur during community feast. How does the food become poisonous all of a sudden? So the bacteria which spoil cooked food are called Clostridium, and due to the presence of Clostridium bacteria in the food item, the what happened, the food get spoiled, and due to this the food poisoning happens to the persons. Like you can observe on the screen, stomach ache is happening to the boy, right? So this is a one type of a food poison, and this is caused by the bacteria Clostridium. Out of about 100 different species of this bacterium Clostridium, some are free living in the soil, whereas some live in the alimentary canal of humans and other animals. So there are different 100 different types of Clostridium are there, and out of these, some are free living in the soil, and some are present in the alimentary canal of human and another animal. Now to understand the alimentary canal, student, I have put picture on the screen. You can observe the alimentary canal includes the mouth, pharynx, esophagus, stomach, small intestine, large intestine, rectum, and last up to anus. So the organs from mouth till anus, this include the alimentary canal. So these Clostridium bacteria are there in the alimentary canal of human beings and other animals also. So these bacteria are rod shape. You can observe the picture just now I have shown in the screen circle. These are the rod shaped bacteria and produce bottle shaped endosperms in adverse condition. That means in normal situation the shape of the bacteria is rod shape, but when the condition is adverse, or when the condition is unfavorable, when sometimes temperature is more, or the low nutrient condition, or due to the various chemicals reaction, what happened in this unfavorable condition, the rod shaped bacteria are converted or produce the bottle shaped endospores. Now you can observe the picture of endospores on the screen, in which you can observe the spore is present within the cell, an endospore present within the cell. Yeah, so these are the four different types of a Clostridium bacteria. First is Clostridium tetani, Clostridium perfringens, Clostridium botulinum, Clostridium difficile. So these are the different types of Clostridium bacteria. And one special characteristic of these Clostridium bacteria is that they cannot withstand the normal oxygen level of the air, because they grow in anaerobic condition. That means these cannot be resist or cannot be survive in the presence of oxygen. Why? Because they just grow in anaerobic condition. That means they grow in absence of oxygen. Yeah, do only the Clostridium bacteria cause illness? Obviously no. So other kinds of microorganisms like bacteria, viruses, protozoa and fungi are also responsible for different types of diseases that affect the human being. And you have learned about viruses, which are smaller than bacteria and can grow and reproduce only in the living cells of animals. And now let us see how they are harmful to us, and here we are going to see the spread and prevention of disease. Let's see. Yeah, so here we have to see the spread and prevention of disease. So one chart is given in your textbook on page number 94. Let's see the different types of a disease one by one. So first is AIDS, right? So the full form of AIDS is acquired immunodeficiency syndrome, and if the person is suffering from this disease, so the immune system of the person is badly damaged, and this disease caused by the pathogen virus, right? And the mode of infection, that means through how this disease can be spread, is through blood and semen of infected person and milk of mother suffering from AIDS. So here semen means it is a thick whitish liquid containing sperm that produced by male reproductive organs. So these are the two mode of infection of the disease AIDS. And next is preventive measure, that means how the disease can be stopped. So here the first is safe sexual contact, and next is avoid reuse of needles and injections. Next disease is hepatitis, and this disease mainly causes the inflammation of liver in the person, and the pathogen again the same, that is virus, and mode of infection contaminated water and food. That means this disease can be spread through the polluted water and food. So the preventive measure is clean and filtered water. We have to clean and drink clean and filtered water, and proper storage of water system should be there. Next is influenza. Now influenza means sneezing or cold, etc. And pathogen again is same, that is virus. Mode of infection again it is same, contaminated with infected person. That means if the contact with infected person. Sorry student, here the one mistake is there. It is mode of infection is contact with infected person. Now if the healthy person will come in contact with the person which is suffering from influenza, that so the healthy person can also infect the disease influenza. So preventive measure is personal hygiene. We have to maintain our personal hygiene and avoiding contact with the infected person from influenza. Now next is measles and chickenpox. Again the pathogen is same, that is virus. Mode of infection is, again here mistake is there, it is not contaminated, it is contact with infected person. And preventive measure is we have to take vaccination and uncontaminated water, clean food. Yeah. So next disease is bird flu H7N9 and swine flu H1N1. So the virus is pathogen is again virus. Mode of infection contact with infected birds and animals. That means if we eat the birds or animals which are suffering from the bird flu and swine flu, so we get also chances to infect with these disease. Preventive measure is personal hygiene, properly cooked meat. We have to if we are having a meat, then we have to cook it properly first, then we can consume that meat, right? Next is the dengue. This is a high painful fever is happening in the person suffering from dengue. Pathogen is same, virus. Mode of infection, this disease is occur through the mosquito bite, and the name of mosquito is Aedes mosquito. Preventive measure is cleanliness of surrounding, preventing stagnation of water. That means if the water is stopped, not sometimes we can see if the water is stored for more time, so more time, what happens, the growth of mosquito takes place there rapidly, and due to this mosquito population will increases, so we have to avoid that. And next is pneumonia. So pathogen is bacteria, and mode of infection is droplets, and droplets of the infected person will spread in air by infected person. Preventive measure vaccination, and we have to avoid the contact which is suffering from pneumonia. Next is the leprosy. Now leprosy causes the nerve damage and skin, eye, nose lesions, skin lesions, and it damage all these organs. And pathogen is bacteria. Mode of infection long-term contact with the infected person. Preventive measure avoiding contact with infected persons and their belongings. That means the thing which the uses by the person, that is clothes, shoes, etc. Next is cholera. Now cholera causes the diarrhea and dehydration. That means the loss of water from the body of a person. Now pathogen is bacteria. Mode of infection contaminated food and water. That means if we are having a contaminated food and drink the contaminated or polluted water, so we can suffering from the disease cholera. So preventive measure is again we have to use clean food and water. Malaria. Now malaria is caused by the Plasmodium parasite, and this is pathogen is protozoa, and mode of infection is mosquito bite, by the mosquito bite of Plasmodium right? And unclean surrounding. Preventive measure: cleanliness of surroundings, preventing stagnation of water. That means again, if the water is stored for more time, so the growth of mosquito will increases, and controlling mosquitoes. Next is dandruff, ringworm, scabies. Pathogen is fungi. So this dandruff, ringworm, and scabies can be occurs through the fungi, and mode of infection will be contact with infected person, or his or her belongings like clothes. Preventive measure will be personal hygiene, avoiding contact with the infected person. So student, I hope you all have understood about the harmful microorganism. Thank you.